Now, before the Bitcoin boom in late 2017, I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't know what blockchain exactly was. But right now, blockchain is a bit of a buzzword. Every company wants to adopt it and everyone wants to talk about it. So today, I'm going to try to make blockchain a little easier for you to understand. I'm Rahul from Simplilearn, and today we're going to talk about what is blockchain. Now, before we get into Bitcoins or cryptocurrencies or blockchains, let's talk about a real life scenario. Now, say you just closed a trade deal and you tell your partner that you'll be transferring them money in some time. So in an ideal scenario, money transfers from your account to your partner's account. But in this case, the money is returned to you. Something obviously went wrong. So here you have normal currency, which are also known as fiat currencies, thinking, why did that transaction fail? What went wrong? Something comes up and says, plenty of things could have gone wrong. Things like, something must have gone wrong at the bank. Some kind of technical issue. The user's account could have gotten hacked. Now, this user could be you or your partner, and the transfer limits have been exceeded for the day. These are just some of the problems that could have caused this. These are just some of the problems which could have caused this. So the fiat currency asks, who might you be to tell me all of this? It says that it's Bitcoin, and it's a cryptocurrency. It'll be telling you about what a cryptocurrency is, the types of cryptocurrency, what is a blockchain, how a Bitcoin transaction works, the features of blockchain, and the Walmart problem. So what is a cryptocurrency? A cryptocurrency is a form of digital currency, which means it doesn't exist in the physical world even though it has some value. It can be used to verify transfer of assets. Now these assets not only include money or other products, but also things like vehicles and real estate. They can control the addition of new units, which is just to say that there's a limit to how much cryptocurrency can exist at a time, and to secure financial transactions using cryptography. Now, the most important aspect of a cryptocurrency is that it is not headed by a central authority. If cryptocurrency is adopted widely in the future, we won't need any fiat currencies or banks. Let's talk about the types of cryptocurrencies. There are several cryptocurrencies that are available in the market right now. For example, there's Litecoin, Ethereum, Dash, Ripple, Stellar, and so on. There's even a cryptocurrency called Dogecoin, named after the popular Doge meme. So what is a blockchain? Bitcoin uses a technology called blockchain to work the way it does. A blockchain is a continuously growing list of records. Now these records together form a set of blocks. These blocks are linked together and are secured using cryptography. That is, if any change has been made to one of these blocks, it's easily noticeable and can be restored to its original form. So now that you know that blockchain is the technology behind Bitcoin, let's see how a Bitcoin transaction works. Let's take into consideration the previous scenario, where you're sending money to your partner. But in this case, we'll use Bitcoin. Now you have your own wallet address and the receiver's wallet address. This is combined with the transaction details, which is nothing but saying that you want to transfer X Bitcoins from your wallet to the partner's wallet and encrypting it and broadcasting it worldwide. Now this broadcast is received by miners around the world, and they verify the authenticity of the sender and the receiver, that is you and your partner. They check whether you exist as an address and whether your wallet has the required amount of bitcoins to carry out this transaction. They also create an address for the receiver in case one doesn't already exist. Now once it has been verified, the transaction is added to a block which also contains several other transactions as part of the blockchain. And this transaction would show that bitcoins are reduced from one wallet and added to another. So what makes blockchain so special? So let's talk about the features of blockchain. Some of them are a public distributed ledger, high-level encryption, proof of work, and mining. Now let's look at each of them in detail. Now let's talk about the first feature. Blockchain is a public distributed ledger. It's publicly available for anyone to access and view. Now this means that anyone has access to the records on the blockchain. Now if you want, you can access the first record that's been input to the blockchain when it was created. Any additions to the block are permanent. Now, even if you make a small or a large change, this is recorded and cannot be altered. Now, there's no centralized authority. Now, unlike fiat currencies, if a bank gets hacked, you can alter the data. But when it comes to blockchain, any change has to be approved by a majority of the people in the network. So you cannot get away with altering the data in a block. You can store details about several other kinds of assets. As I mentioned before, it's not only about money or products, it's about property, vehicles, and other things as well. Let's go into the next feature of blockchain, high-level encryption. Blockchain uses SHA-256 encryption. Here we have the sender's address, receiver's address, transaction details, and the sender's private key. This is combined and passed through the SHA-256 algorithm. The encrypted output is transmitted across the world, and the transaction is added to a block. Now the SHA-256 is widely used because it makes the process of authenticating the sender and the receiver a whole lot easier. It also provides a high level of security and is mostly impervious to hacks. The most important thing about SHA-256 is that it ensures user anonymity. Now, let's talk about the third feature of blockchain, proof of work. Now, as I mentioned before, a block contains a number of different transactions. Each block has its own previous hash, transaction details, and nonce. When these three values are added to a hashing function, you get the hash value of that particular block. Let's talk about the previous hash now. The previous hash is the hash value of the previous block of the blockchain. Now, this is to uniquely identify the previous block of the block that preceded the current block, transaction details. Now, this field contains details about the various transactions that are to take place. Nonce. A nonce is a random value that is used to variate the hash value. And finally, the hash value. The hash obtained is a hex value that has both letters and numbers. Now, any change to the nonce, transaction details, or the previous hash will completely change the outcome of the hashing function. That is, the hashing function produces the hash value taking into consideration the above three fields. Proof of work involves several miners around the world using computational algorithms to find the nonce value. Now, this nonce value has to satisfy some predefined conditions in regards with the hash value. For example, that the hash value has to start with 5 zeros or 4 zeros or something like that. Now, mining is the process where a miner is rewarded with 12.5 bitcoins for finding the appropriate nonce first. The miner has to be the first one in the world to find a nonce value that satisfies the hash requirement. Now, the block is said to be mined once it's added to the blockchain. Now, the person who finds the nonce that satisfies the hash requirement for the block is awarded 12.5 bitcoins. Now, the last transaction in every block assigns 12.5 bitcoins to the miner as a reward. This is the only way that new bitcoins can be generated. The reward for mining is reduced by half every 4 years. By 2020, the reward for mining will be 6.25 bitcoins. Now, let's talk about a real-life example, the Walmart problem. Blockchain isn't only used for Bitcoin, but is also used for supply chain management. And here's one situation that was faced by Walmart. The problem was to find where bad products originated from when the products are returned. So to solve this problem, Walmart used a blockchain which consists of information regarding where the product was grown or in which farm it was grown, how it was transported, where it was stored, and whether the customers spoiled it themselves. With this, Walmart was able to determine where the issue with the product originated. So you see, Bitcoin says, blockchain is going to be around for a long time to come. With this, we've reached the end of this video. I hope you guys found this video informative and helpful. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more from Simplilearn.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.